Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt here with Acoustic Selection. Hope you're doing well. With this video, I want to go over something that's been on my mind lately that it's really kind of bothered me, to be honest, because I'm thinking that somewhere along the line, I think we as Christians and even unbelievers have got the whole Easter story confused. And I want to clarify a few things that I hope can help you or maybe someone you know grow your faith and grow your walk with the Lord. You know, the title of this video is Easter, It's Not About Faith. And the reason I call it that is so often we view faith as kind of the belief in the unknown, that something's going to happen. It's kind of a hope, or it's putting our trust in something that we're unsure of. And what you got to be careful of with the Easter story is making the fact that Christ existed, the fact that he lived a perfect life and died a death on the cross, rose again from that tomb and came back and appeared, then went into heaven. Sometimes using that word faith almost makes that story make-believe, or only if you pray for it hard enough, if you have enough power, then that story's true. And that's so not the case. And I was going over this with my kids that I teach at church. You know, this Bible, let's talk about the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These are people that actually were with Jesus at the time he was here on the earth. They saw him doing all the miracles. They saw him performing these things of healing the blind and making the lame walk, and people just touching his garment and being healed of sickness, making the dead rise, turning water into wine, and so many, feeding 5,000 men with 2 fishes and bread, and so many things. First of all, they witnessed these miracles. And second of all, they saw him crucified on a cross, saw him die the death that we should have died in our place, put him in a tomb. And to be honest with you, the disciples, you can see in the Bible, they thought he was dead. Even though he told them all along that's what he was going to do, they thought he was dead. But just like Jesus had promised, on that third day, he rose again, and that tomb was empty. I want you to check out AcousticSelection.com under Bible Helps, and I've got 7 proofs of the resurrection. You need to check that out. Right under Bible Helps, 7 proofs of resurrection. But Jesus then comes back and appears before hundreds and hundreds of people. So the reason I say this is not about faith, these are flat out facts. Matthew was a tax collector and walked with Jesus. He walked around and saw these things. He was actually with the person Jesus Christ. You look at Mark and John. You look at the book of Luke. Luke was a doctor, and what Luke did, he was kind of an eyewitness, and he went around and just talked to people. What did you see? Okay, wrote it down. What did you see? Wrote it down. What did you see? And interviewed all these people. That one person might make up a story, 2 people, 3 people, but when hundreds of people tell you the same story and they literally witnessed it, you got to understand that point, it becomes fact. It's not about just having a faith or a belief in the unknown. And so many people mix that up, because oftentimes if I'm talking to an unbeliever or someone kind of struggling with their walk with the Lord, they'll say, you know, I don't know if I even believe the Bible. And I always say, first of all, that makes absolutely no sense. Let me tell you why. The Bible's not just one book. It's a collection of books. And you take like the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is just wisdom. And it's things to make you have a better life. How can you say I don't believe in just someone giving advice? You take the book of Psalms, for example. I always bring that up. Psalms that's often just poetry or a song. That makes absolutely no sense to say, oh, I don't believe in a song. Well, what that makes no. What are you even saying? I don't believe in a song. That makes no sense. So, anytime someone says I don't believe in the Bible, 99.9% of the time they've never even opened it. They're insecure, and they're looking for attention or searching for God or something, or they've had a bad experience with church or something. So they just say, I don't believe in the Bible, because we all know it's truthfully way easier to say I don't believe in the Bible than allow God to start working on your heart and convict you of your sin and see your unrighteousness to a holy God and that kind of thing. So people will often just dismiss everything by saying I don't believe in the Bible. But back to my point here, you know, when 9/11, I say it often too, when 9/11 happened and those guys, the terrorists, ran those planes in the World Trade Center, first of all, You can't say, oh, I don't believe it did. I don't even believe it happened. No, there were buildings there. There's buildings not there now. Thousands of people witnessed it. We saw it on TV. Some people saw it in person. You can't just say it didn't happen. It happened. There's tons of evidence. It happened. And even go a step farther, those guys in those planes who hijacked those planes, they had faith that what they were doing was the real thing. So a lot of times, be careful about using the word faith. They have faith they're going to go to heaven with 20 virgins and be rich and get out of this world. They had faith in something that's not true. They had great intentions probably and thought by killing thousands of innocent people and doing this craziness, they thought what they were doing was right. But their faith was in the wrong thing. When you talk about Jesus Christ, understand, our faith is that Jesus is going to come back again one day and take us to heaven to be with Him. That's where the faith comes in. We put our faith and trust that He's going to come back and receive the Christians, receive those from the ground, and take us to heaven. But the story of Jesus and the story of Easter, make sure you catch this. The story of Easter is not about faith at all. Hundreds of people witnessed that He lived here on this earth for 33 years. He was crucified on a cross. They put His body in a borrowed tomb, and 3 days later, that tomb, He was gone, and He appeared again. He appeared before the disciples in the upper room, and He appeared there. Read the book of Acts. He appeared again to hundreds of people, not just one or two, or just one of His disciples, or just Mary or someone. He appeared to hundreds. So remember, Easter is not about, let that kind of revive and rejuvenate your faith. That it's not about just faith in the unknown. Easter is about the story of Jesus and His existence here and His resurrection, because that's what separates. A lot of people can live, a lot of people can die on a cross, but only one can raise themselves from the dead, and that's the Son of God, Jesus Christ. I challenge you, go out and tell someone about this story today. Share your faith. We have faith that Jesus is going to do for us what He said He's going to do, but the story of Jesus itself is not about faith, it's about facts. Love you guys. Shoot me a message with any questions, and God bless you.